Hey everybody, that's right, it's me, KZ, and welcome to the update video for September 2024. It's been about a month since the last one. It says 3 weeks on YouTube, but we're getting close. It seemed like the right time to put this out, as the month is about to come to a close. We can reflect on the content that I put out, what I plan on doing coming up, and of course how I'm doing and everything in general. Of course, this wouldn't be possible without Patreon. Now, many content creators say that, but, you know, I'm always on the razor's edge of keeping this operation going, so I definitely mean it. Thank you so much for your support. The support and the kindness is not lost on me. Thank you so much. Now, you may go, Casey, you're slurring a little bit. I woke up less than 2 hours ago, and I've been rushing around cleaning up and stuff, trying to get my day started right. I had a bit of a rough one yesterday. Wasn't feeling it on any level toward the end, but you know, you gotta keep pushing forward, and that's where I'm at. I'm refreshed, kind of. I imagine I will once I eat something and, you know, drink a fluid. But we have an update to do. Let's talk shop a little bit. Let's see what we got going on. So last update was toward the end of August. We had just wrapped up the Kingdom Hearts Marathon, and boy was that tough. We even did a quick look of this game, Star Wars Outlaws. I finished it on my off time in between this. Despite it not being very good first impression, it got a lot better when they stopped giving me stealth missions that meant if anyone sees you once, the game fails you and throws you back 2 minutes. It got significantly better going forward. I'd say it's around like a 7.5 for me. Shame that it came out in the state that it did, I guess, in terms of like some bugs and how rushed the reviewers were, because it's not doing particularly well. But I enjoyed my time. Definitely one of the worst first impressions I've had in a game in recent memory, though. Whew. Man, bleak. Moving on. Let's get into the stuff we actually did this past month. So first up, of course, we did our replay of Astro's Playroom in prep for the Astrobot release. A fun little game. We enjoyed that. That's the PS5 pack-in. We did a 50-turn farewell to Mario Party Superstars, and, it went. Also, additionally, Jordan had been pushing for this for months, and the entire time, no one checked to see if 50 turns was available in this game. It is not. So we did 2 25-turn games. It was a bit of a mess, as they tend to be, though. I'm excited for Jamboree when that drops next month. I did a breezy run of Castlevania Portrait of Ruin because the Dominus collection had dropped, and I decided to do that one. This is my favorite Castlevania. It was a fun time. We did that over the course of 2 short streams. Very fun. Very enjoyable. Moving on, we then did Astrobot across 2 big streams. Did it basically 100% because I earned the platinum on stream. The last little bit of it was a little rough because that final challenge, when you're like 8+ hours into the stream, real damaging. That and chat in both streams tended to be a bit hand-holdy at times and a little bit aggressive in what I should do, but you know, that's kind of like a through line through this month of streaming. Also, kind of in a way. But that was fun. Immaculate game. It's definitely up there in terms of my GOTY games for this year in terms of Game of the Year. Very good. Then we moved on to Persona 3 Reload, because the episode Igus DLC, otherwise known as the Answer Scenario, had finally dropped, and I really enjoyed it. Definitely quite challenging. It took us about 4 streams to knock the whole thing out. I played it on hard difficulty. In the final stream, I did bump down to easy for grinding. For a couple of sessions of grinding, I definitely downed the difficulty just so we could get prepped a little faster. But every story fight I did maintain and play on hard. Plenty of good challenge in there. Thoroughly enjoyed my time with it. I think it worked out pretty well. All right, we had a song shift. Let's lower that a little bit. So we did, we had a great time. I enjoyed the story stuff. It still has the same kind of issues I think Reload has in general, where I feel like Igus was not robotic enough in the first part of the story, so I feel like the shift as we went through the rest of that game and into this one doesn't feel as good as it did in the original and stuff. And some other stylistic choices that are a bit different, but overall I enjoyed my time in it. Man, the version of Mass Destruction Reload still I just do not like. But thankfully, the new battle theme was quite good. I love the new intro that they did. And I like that they retained the pretty tough challenge that we had for, that. I'm still messing with audio over here. We freeball on update videos, I have you know. But we knocked that out. Thoroughly enjoyed my time. We did late night streams for this because my schedule was trapped and turned around. But I eventually fixed it, going into one more one-off stream that was not Dragon Ball related. We did Castlevania Aria of Sorrow because I hadn't played that in a while. And we knocked that out in about 6 hours. Could have been 5 hours if both me and chat misremembered that the arena in Aria of Sorrow is not optional, unlike the arena that was in Circle of the Moon, which meant that I did not go one screen down to see that there was a boss fight in there. That was a bit of a fumble, but it is fine. Had a great time with it. I love Igavanius to death. Then we entered the Dragon Ball Marathon. I made an incentive during the Kingdom Hearts Marathon that I would do a lot of Dragon Ball games to celebrate the release of Sparking Zero coming out next month. And here we are. So far, we were doing a mix of one-offs and full playthroughs of some sparse story mode stuff. I wasn't able to do as much as I wanted to for this thing, as we're continuing to do it, because for some reason I thought Sparking Zero was meant to come out late in the month and not in the first week, basically, if you count early access. But it is what it is. It's fine. I've covered most of what I wanted to do anyway. A lot of the extra things that I ended up having to cut were games I had not played before anyway. That being said, it's been pretty great. We started with Legendary Super Warriors, the Game Boy card-like action game. That was a lot of fun. We did Dragon Ball Advanced Adventure, which is the 2D beat-em-up style game based on the original Dragon Ball, which immaculate sprite work on that. Really enjoyed it, except for some of the parts toward the end were a little bit tough. I don't know if the 1v1 combat in that is amazing. I don't know. For some reason, TN was working me. Thankfully, chat was able to remind me how the parry works in that, which helped a good bit. Which, man, the final boss really folds to it in a way that I was not experiencing fighting Tien Shinhan, the strongest human. Then I realized I'm going to have to group these games up on streams. The first one was the bad game triple threat of Ultimate Battle 22, as well as Dragon Ball GT Final Bout, as well as Dragon Ball Z Taiketsu. Two of the three, not the GT one, I owned. And I gotta say, Taiketsu really is the winner on that one for being the closest to a sober fighting game with inputs that work. And at least some level of money on it. Man, those American-made Dragon Ball games definitely beat the hell out of a bad Butoden-style game that they put out in 2003 in America, and a bad GT game where they're like, to react for a beam struggle, hit a button when a little piece of text appears, and it's faster than the worst Resident Evil 5, like Resident Evil 5, like, quick time of that. It's crazy. That, like, good lord. Next up, we had a reaction where I decided to check out because it, the full roster had leaked, but I decided to ignore it and wait for the final trailer for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero that contained its whole roster, and an overview of its modes, and I gotta say, pretty damn cool. They really nailed it on the marketing for this game. Very excited for it. Glad it did not disappoint. Frieza Force Soldier is the gift. That's great. Then we started hitting some of the ones I was really excited to do, like Dragon Ball Z Budokai. We did the full story mode for that, which was great. I think the stream was fantastic. We also did the Hercule mode in that. That was great. Did a playthrough of Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2. And this one was a fun time, but I have to say, chat really was landed on thick on telling me what to do on some of these things to a degree where I'm like, okay, maybe we need to chill out a little bit. That being said, I won't give them too much grief in this video form. Then we did another triple threat of games. We did Legacy of Goku 1. Then we did some Supersonic Warriors. And then we did Super Dragon Ball Z. Supersonic Warriors is like a 2D fighting game made by Arxis for GBA. It's fine. But I could tell that most of my enjoyment would come from just mashing supers over and over again, so we switched pretty quickly to the PS2 Super Dragon Ball Z, a lovingly created arcade-style game that's meant to be more like a traditional Street Fighter style fighting game instead of the beautiful Budokai games. Unfortunately, I feel like that game plays like ass. It plays terribly, but the aesthetics are perfect. I wish Dimps got to work with that visual style, at least for like a side game. So I wouldn't, in my mind, feel like it was wasted. Sorry, I did not vibe with that one. After that, we did another triple threat. I did a stream on my planned day off because, one, we have to start working for rent, and two, if I did not do that, the games featured in it would have probably had to been cut because I started making a schedule for my streams and went, I don't have enough time. Especially because I'm going to play Sparking Zero when early access begins because I don't want to miss the zeitgeist of the thing we're doing the marathon for. So we did Dragon Ball Z Shin Budokai, which is a Budokai game on PSP. It's trying to do the Budokai 3 style in PSP form. Worked pretty well. Then we did a full playthrough of the entire story mode of Dragon Ball Evolution, the movie game, which is a reskin of Shin Budokai, so it played very well. Hoo boy, I didn't know they basically dropped like 80% of that movie script into the game like that. That's absurd. And we did a few levels of Dragon Ball GT Transformation, which is a Game Boy Advance beat-em-up for Dragon Ball. And that was not very good. We put on a code, and then we just kind of burned through a few levels there until I felt really tired because I had been streaming for like a week straight, and I still haven't stopped. I gotta stream in maybe like an hour or something. We're figuring it out, man. Holy shit, I'm dying. Anyway, next up, a delightful 5.5 hours passed as we played Dragon Ball. I love how the only GIF for it is the loading screen. It's Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3. It's my favorite Dragon Ball game. We went through its Dragon Universe mode more than a few times with Goku to show off all of the content in it, the what-if scenarios, the GT story stuff, as well as the Broly story mode and showing you that the tournament mode still exists within these. Had a great time. I really enjoyed this game. I could do without some of the 50-50s they make you do with the Dragon Rush system, but aside from that, I think it's pretty solid. So, now that we can chill out a little bit, where are we at now? Well, it's reaction time. I reacted to the Sonic Central, which happened in the morning. I did not stream this. I instead just recorded it like I would do a normal reaction thing. Really enjoyed the parts of it that were awesome in that they showed more Shadow generations in it, showing that we're getting Mephiles as a boss fight, but didn't show it to us, which is awesome. It's probably the last trailer I would want to look at for the game because we're kind of hitting the point where they might show too much, but I think like the marketing on this has been pretty good. And the fact that we got, this was a story trailer, gives us a little taste of that. It shows us yet another boss fight and some new levels and stuff, and they're not showing too much. I don't know what the Mephiles boss fight is like. I don't know what the final boss is like. It's starting to look more and more like this is going to be just as long for a normal playthrough, if not longer than normal Sonic Generations, which is great. And it's looking like it's everything that Generations was not, which was not only pairing great gameplay, but with story that anyone should give a shit about. And I think that that is fantastic. Very excited for the direction Sonic's going. And it continued to get more intense as we went into the live reaction to the Sony State of Play, which I did stream. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, we got Keanu Reeves' Shadow as a confirmed DLC level in Tokyo for Shadow Generations coming out in December. So it'll be another reason to revisit the game, and I think that's such a good choice. Then we, of course, had the Mortal Kombat 1 Chaos Reigns DLC story stream. And that was great. I enjoyed doing that, of course, with my friends. I gotta say, story mode, bit of a letdown, though. It really had shonen anime movie syndrome, I feel like, where the villain felt absurdly weak and incompetent, and the story wasn't as good as I kind of wanted it to be, but overall I enjoyed my time. It was just a bit of a letdown. I still say it's better than the 11 DLC that they did. And that one had a lot of good stuff in it, a lot of bad writing in it, but it did have Take Them to the Bone Temple. That being said, I am excited to see where Mortal Kombat 1 goes next, or maybe if it's getting another story. If not, really hoping the sequel just kind of goes all in with this universe and says, let's stop doing the multiverse stuff, in which apparently the only thing chaotic about it is that people from other timelines are like, I've got mohawks now and Mad Max clothes. That was a bit lame. We need to go all in on Onaga in the next one. Get us the big ass Dragon King that's like sealed within the mountain or whatever. Give me that. As we continue to roll through stuff that's PS2 centric, because that's way more interesting than Shao Kahn and the first 3 or 4 Mortal Kombats again. So excited for that. What the future holds for that, especially because they're a bit more cagey about killing their main characters in this one, which I imagine is why they leveraged a lot of the multiversal stuff. But also, we gotta stop doing this multiverse shit. It's so fucking lame, dude. We gotta stop doing it. I thought it was gonna be cool in the fact that I enjoyed it in Mortal Kombat 1, but the DLC deciding the only multiverse people are the Chaos people, and it's like all of them are just, here's the design of a Mortal Kombat character, but boring. And I just was not feeling that entirely. But it was fun to see what angles they did, and there was plenty of fun shit in there. I feel like I'm coming out a little more cold than you would expect, but it had the Kamidogu, and it had some funny bits, and leveraging your knowledge of what a Mortal Kombat story always does, and they riffed on that, and I think it was pretty cool. And the last thing that we did for this past month was, of course, Dragon Ball Z Legacy Goku 2. We did that yesterday. I thoroughly enjoyed my time. We did not finish it because I had to do one-offs because I don't have time. We're doing Boost Fury today. Man, this game holds up. Legacy Goku 1 is miserable. This is fantastic to play. I really enjoyed my time with it. Yeah, not too much to say about it. Really fun action RPG. We'll be hitting a Boost Fury later today. Aside from that, what else we got going on? Well, coming up in the future, I am going to be doing Dragon Ball Z Boost Fury. Hold on, do we have the notepad? Yo, man, there it is. Oh, wow. Hold on. According to this, other games I'm playing coming up. Boost Fury, Budokai Tenkaichi 1 and 2, and Xenoverse 2 as one big stream. Dragon Ball Z Sagas, the really bad story beat-em-up one, made by the people that made Attack in the Power Juju and that Harry Potter game from last year. Dragon Ball Fighters, a full playthrough of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Any other side things that I could come up with for a stream. Of course, Sparking Zero. Super Mario Party Jamboree when it comes out later next month. Some birthday related stuff, I imagine. Maybe I'll trick myself into doing the upcoming Dragon Age game. I will be doing the Sonic and Shadow Generations. I'll be doing Sonic Generations first, then Shadow afterward, to be as kind to both games as possible. Pace it out really well. Probably gonna do it in a big stream. It'll be fun. Shit. What else? I don't know what else is going on in October. That seems to be enough for now, though. For this update video, like, we're doing several more Dragon Ball games. We're doing the big one on release. We're doing Sonic and Shadow. We're doing the Mario Party. I'm sure there's more. I'm sure I'm gonna put it. I'm probably finally gonna do a dot hack game. There's probably gonna finally be space for me to do dot hack mutation, so I can do that. Prepping up some other stuff. No real interest in doing the new Zelda game at the moment. Let's see. There's something in October that's coming out that... Oh. We're doing Metaphor ReFantazio next month. I forgot that. I'm so tired that I forgot that that's coming out. Oh, yeah. There's a demo out for it. I am not playing it yet. I'm going to go into the game as blind as possible and just playing it from the start. Very excited. From the devs of Persona 5 comes their next big game. Very excited for it. So, yeah, next month. Sparking Zero, Mario Party, Sonic and Shadow Generations, Metaphor, and a bunch of things in between. Very excited for it. As always, you can support me via Patreon over at patreon.com/KZXcellent. We did this in one take, and you can tell because this is way too fucking long. Thank you so much for your support. As always, I really appreciate it. We got more content on the way. I'm gonna go eat some some chicken or something. I'll figure out something, and then I can do a stream. Yeah, I can do a stream on the the Twitch and everything. Hell yeah, we're gonna do Boost Fury. It's gonna be fun. Anyway, I'm gonna get this out. Thank you so much for your support. As always, I really appreciate it. I am gonna go prep to make more stuff for you. Hell yeah, let's do it. Whoop whoop.